What's up, my XRP brothers from another mother and my cute XRP sisters? This is Rob with the Rob 007 channel coming to you from beautiful Venice Island. Absolutely gorgeous down at the beach. 5 out of 5. And the title of this episode is So It Begins. Watch this episode to the end. I am so fired up. And a shout out to none other than legend himself, Jim, the one and only Jim Palzini down under. He's with Caleb and Brown. I will be doing an interview with him on Wednesday. Look forward to doing that. It'll be our second one. And so if you guys have questions for him, leave them in the comments down below and we will have a little fun next Wednesday and get you guys caught up. And also thank you as always. We're well over 7,000 subs on our next rung to 8,000. Appreciate each and every one of you. The last episode did great, 10,000 views and so forth, 1,000 likes. But indeed, if you are new to this channel, if you would hit the subscribe button to subscribe, the bell for notifications, that like button, tap it, slap it, whatever you are feeling for a hump day. I'd slap it because it feels good with the markets now starting to move, especially XRP. And a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. And don't forget about the fine folks at iTrustCapital. They're one of my top places to custody my XRP to get institutional grade. You have 0 fees on custody, unheard of, and only 1% when you execute a trade. And when you sign up and fund your account, you got to fund it too, you'll get a Benjamin Franklin. So yes, that's $100. And the link is in the description. You have to use the code ROB007. Tell them Rob sent you. And also, they are working on having a ROI on XRP. That's one of their top projects. We'll let you guys know when that is announced. And also, speaking of Jim Balzini, don't forget about the fine folks at Caleb and Brown. So many good reasons to want to custody them as well. Yes, they are also institutional grade. They have 0 fees on custody. You can pick up the phone, their phone support, and they're growing by leaps and bounds. So exciting. When I spoke with Jim last night, their office in Fort Lauderdale is just busting at the seams, and now they're eyeing opening up a site over in over in California, perhaps. So anyway, so they will be opening up on the West Coast. I imagine they're looking at California. Time will tell. Anyway, links in the description. And my biggest reason why I love having this is because we will make zero doubt we'll be entering the banana zone quicker than you can say jackrabbit. And I'm going to have I actually bought XRP yesterday and bought the dip on my Caleb and Brown. But I'm going to be putting in some sell orders, take a little profit as we start to march up. Just a little cream off the top. And also don't forget about the fine folks at Kraken. They actually offer up to like $150 when you sign up. Sweet. That's all I got to say. Link is in the description. And last but not least, if you are looking to get an ROI on your XRP and actually get the highest level of custody you can possibly get, email me your name and number and a good time to call you. Emails in the description. Beware of imposters. And yes, this has me so excited. So I'm locked and loaded. Guys, I got all my chessboard kind of arranged the way I wanted it. And yes, I like to kind of de-risk. So I have my Caleb and Brown. I have my iTrust. I got my ROI one, and then also I have cold storage. I also believe in cold storage. Shout out to John up in Beaufort, beautiful North Carolina. Up in beautiful North Carolina, not Beaufort. Actually, it's Beaufort if it's in North Carolina, and Beaufort if it's in South Carolina. But John, congratulations to you on having the presence of mind to not only see the opportunity at XRP, but to pounce on it, as I'd like to say. And from one fellow sailor to another, that sailing water up there is just absolutely beautiful. There's the beer and the fish sandwich on a sailboat with our name on it. In the comments, the original says, bought a chunk at $2.29. Congratulations to you. Says, think swell will bring a bump. He says, maybe it'll bring more than a bump. Yeah, this day is not over. And currently we got Bitcoin trading at 104, up about 3% on the 24-hour. XRP's at 235. Last I checked, it's moved up about 5 cents. Just within, this might be 236, just within the last hour or so. Up 4% on the 24-hour. And I tell you what, I got a feeling that our phones are about to blow up real soon, and that's RLUSD soon. And then, yeah. And you guys all know Steve Wozniak. He was one of the 3 founders of Apple. He sold out early. I think he only sold for about $600. He currently has a net worth of $200 million. Had he kept his shares of Apple, $300 billion left on the table. And then next Thursday, now I'm so pumped. Yeah, next Thursday, what I'm talking about, we finally get the Canary Capital ETF will go live. And actually heard it from the man himself. the guy that heads up Canary Capital up at Swell, saying, yep, they launch on Wednesday. And Ominix up on X says 9 Spot XRP ETFs listed on DTCC. Can we make it an even 10 and throw in BlackRock? Are you not ready to be super pumped up? I am. 9 ETFs, and so it's all going to start. And actually, we have 4 now that actually have amended their ETF. That would be Bitwise, Canary, Grayscale, and also Franklin Templeton. And yes, tonight is a full moon, by the way, and it's a beaver moon. Well, what's not to like about that? It's actually going to be the brightest moon of the year, and actually some emotions will be full on. Remy Relief, shout out to you, Remy, says something huge for XRP is coming. Don't you feel it? And it's actually happening today. The news we got today, this seems like on a daily basis, just keeps winning, too much winning. At 5:30, speaking of which, Trump is to make a major announcement. He did speak at 1 o'clock, so that's actually about, well, not that far away, about 2 hours away. But he did say earlier, about 1 p.m. around that time today, he said that the United States would be the Bitcoin capital, the crypto capital, and the AI capital of the world. Breaking, Senator Schumer and also Hakeem Jeffries demand Donald Trump to demand to meet immediately and to discuss reopening the shutdown after a record number of days. Oddly enough, it's just right after the elections yesterday. And yes, if you live in New York City, you now have a new mayor that is Mandami. And actually, it's what I saw on ticker, 800,000 from New York City plan to leave. Poolside Chad says, repo fired first shot. Massive quantitative easing begins. And that is talking about a bailout in one of the banks that happened yesterday. And also, keep your head on the swivel. Iran has great surprises will happen tonight. And what they said, they went out on the record saying this, and the world will remember it for decades. And last I heard, they might have been actually firing some missiles to some of our bases out there. We'll see. Today, Supreme Court decision on Trump's tariffs. This would have huge, with Y, implications either way, either to the upside or to the downside. So we'll keep and see if we hear some news on that. And the Clarity Act, Senator Loomis, I'm not sure if this passed, but she said it's about to pass market structure bill. So will we see this kind of, if they open up the government, let's say tomorrow or on Friday, and then if they can make quick, get that Clarity Act for market structure and then send it over for a vote. Anyway, let's hope so. Maybe we can have it happen way before Thanksgiving. So they just want to have the markup done by Thanksgiving. They want to have it done by the end of the year. That would be December 12th before they go back home for the holidays and Christmas. Smoke up on X says DBS says Ripple IPO, that Ripple will IPO in 2026. And actually it says when that happens, they will actually revalue their balance sheets on Ripple and include the escrow of the XRP. Imagine what that would do. Poolside Chad says day one of Ripple swell, Ripple announces the acquisition of Palisades, a digital wallet custody company for institutions on the institution side. And XRP Dragon, and this also has me so fired up. 11 companies add to their DAT, their digital asset treasury, now at $2 billion. So it is so much more than ETFs. We have two major forces that are going to be dwindling down the supply of XRP. You got those 9 ETFs of institutional money, and then you have the corporate world with their digital asset treasuries. Both of those are just going to be, I think there's only about 2 billion, maybe even less, up on the exchanges on retail. And did you know the average car price in America is $50,000, and the average payment, can you say $700? Unbelievable. And if you're looking at one of those bigger yachts cruising up Miami River, the average price to fill them up, can you say $11,000? And last but not least, and what things cost, Patrick Bet-David did bring out a pair of sneakers, to compete with Skechers. No. How much do they cost? $600. But hey, that's half off of what a pair of Gucci sneakers will cost at $1,200. Just saying the cost of things and where people spend their money. Quote of the day, Standard Chartered says every transaction will settle on crypto. Trillions are coming. BlackRock, and also BlackRock chimed in, said trillions are coming. Unbelievable. So yes, so exciting. And this is X on X. Don't be surprised if Ripple announces a bank license as well as the federal master account. Wouldn't that be swell? You know, and we'll see that. It wasn't, I was hoping for it last Friday. Let's see what happens. And this is a seismic shift happening, and it's happening right now. 17 companies up on NASDAQ are waiting to IPO when the shutdown ends. And also, consensus for the speakers as well is just basically is this. Institutions, they're going to be using RLUSD and every company will settle with RLUSD. So exciting. All right, so, and this is also a new YouTuber up on that did an XRP video, quite insightful. I'll probably dig down into this whether on Thursday or Friday, want to rewatch it again. But the short of it, he says, look for a lot of things to happen in the not too distant future, maybe even a merger. And he says if things line up that we could see a 10x really soon. That would be from here, $23. Would love to see above 20 bucks. Man, if we could get it before Thanksgiving, that would be unbelievable. Or by the end of the month, if not, no later than Christmas. So, Bank XRP says Evernorth acquires another, get this, talking about this chipping away at the supply. They acquire another 214 million in XRP for a total of 473 million invested in XRP, and they will be moving up to $1 billion with that. Donald J. Trump says, you know what, he posted this morning, quite cryptic. He said, post, so it begins. That might have been yesterday. He actually did that. And Ripple Swell, if you have seen their either commercial or just their like big logo, whatever they have for that, and usually we all associate Ripple with blue, the color blue, and they have like these blue candles, but guess what? There appears yellow, green, and purple, just like in the Barrel Bull Guy 1, 2, 3. Can't make that up. And Ripple raises, get this, and this is just another shot heard around the globe. Ripple raises 500 million with investors like Citadel and Fortress, which makes Ripple become a juggernaut, a valuation of $40 billion. Way too exciting. X-Finance Bro says Ripple heads up, teams up with MasterCard and launches RLUSD payments on Gemini. One more, line them up, fill them up, knock them back. Yes, and this, and it goes on to say that Ripple needs a license exchange to close the loop. Well, this is a double dose of X-Finance Bro. He says Ripple, after the bank license and get their FedMaster account, they're going to buy Uphold. And I'm not this kind of troomer, but it's looking really good. It says they need a license exchange to close the loop here in the United States. So that would be amazing if they did that acquisition. That can happen sooner than later. And as we get down to the last two cards of this episode, XRP VRA says, the plan never changed. It was always November. The chest will open very, very soon. It was always November. This one goes up here. We got about 25 more days left in this month. And last but not least, for the very best, let's just kind of recap a couple of things that we've gone over in the last 2 or 3 episodes worth repeating. One from the Todd report saying it is feasible, shout out to you, Todd, feasible that all the XRP will dry up on the exchanges by November 22nd. That is only 17 days away. 17 days. Is it possible? Also worth repeating, Rob Cunningham. He says, don't rule out the banks using XRP come November 22nd and a flip the switch moment. Well, he doesn't know if it will happen, but don't rule it out. And last but not least, I'm loving it when we talk about where we're going to be at the end of the price, at the end of the year. You got people like Paul Barron, who's great, does great, fantastic work. Shout out to you, Paul. I think he's like on record with his TA. People looking at $5, and then also you have people like Jay Claver. I think I kind of like his a little better. His prediction for a $100 XRP by the end of the year, yeah, it's 99.99999% sure it will happen. I like that vote of confidence at a 3-digit XRP. Holy cow, that is definitely going to be a bigger vote. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.